Smoking sous sommelier-ish, ukulele J.
We're going to start with a whole packer brisket. That's the whole brisket untrimmed. You're then going to want to drain the blood out of the bag, rinse the meat, and dry it off really well with a paper towel. I do this over the sink, and I make sure I'm really careful when I unwrap the plastic, as you don't want any of the juices splattering anywhere in the kitchen for contamination. We want to trim the brisket next and take off all the excess fat. On the back side here, we're going to trim the silver skin, and on the top side, we're going to trim all the fat down to 1/4 of an inch thickness. Here I'm trimming off the silver skin. You can go crazy with this, but I just take off enough so there's no big pieces. Then I turn it over and I take that fat cap down to 1/4 of an inch thickness. Next, we're going to season the brisket, which is probably the most important part. I'm going to use kosher salt. I'm going to use fresh ground black pepper, which I grind real time and make a layer on the meat. I then coat it with my proprietary barbecue rub, and then I go ahead and put some additional salt and pepper on so I can layer the flavors across the meat. I do it on both sides, and as you can see here, make sure you get the edges done really well. You don't want to overdo it. You don't need a fancy shaker. I prefer to use my hands. I can get just as an even coat with my hands as I can a shaker. And make sure you have a really nice even coating on the meat. Here you can see how well it's coated across the top. I set my smoker for 225 degrees because I want it on the smoke longer. Otherwise, if you use a higher temp, you're going to get less smoke and you're going to wrap sooner. Fat cap up or down, that's the question. I put my fat cap down to protect the meat from the heat on the lower plate. Okay, we're 8 hours into the smoke. Now at 165, it's been going all night. I mean, this is incredible color. Every brisket will take a different amount of time to get to the desired temperature. I happen to like to wrap at 165. This took approximately 8 hours with 13 pounds. I wrap my brisket in 100% pure peach paper, the secret to scintillation. I use 2 pieces overlapped and I wrap the brisket really tight, like a package. I overlap it twice, and that's what I'll use to put on the smoker, with the edge of the paper tucked underneath the meat so it does not unravel during smoking. We're gonna do the probe test here and see what we're looking at. 192. I'm gonna pull it about 203, but I wanna see how it feels. Check it out. Oh wow, that's really buttery soft. Go to the flat. That feels pretty good. And here's my pan I used to smoke the brisket. Got all that fat down in there. Was my liquid to keep things moist. Once the brisket reaches the temperature desired, I take it off, wrap it up in a towel, and throw it in the cooler for about 3 hours. Okay, we're out of the cooler 3+ hours. And let's see what our temp's looking like here. Yeah, about 152 degrees. Oh, absolutely beautiful. Pull apart, just absolutely so tender. Here I'm cutting away the fatty point, which I love, my favorite piece, turning it perpendicular and then slicing from there. What do you get after all that cutting? You got it. Scintillation state. Please make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you can get more notifications of great videos. And also, I'd love you to follow me on Instagram at Ukulele and J. You'll see lots of cooking, lots of pictures. Thanks for watching.
Smoking to the sommelier-ish. Ukulele, ukulele J.